welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach, therapist from DCTcentre, and also I'm true speaker, healer, energy worker, guide, mentor, co-creator, and galactic ambassador from Pleiadian. And with me is lovely Morganne Rayne, spiritual consultant, gratefully providing access to higher dimension of being. Morgan has been called healer of healers as a way to describe her unique spiritual tools she shares. Morgan is here to serve those who see great understanding of their sacred spiritual self, have the deep desire to integrate that consciousness in their 3D world. And with us as well is Jeanne Reina, licensed psychotherapist in state of Washington, working primarily with early childhood trauma, sexual abuse, and emotional neglect, helping clients empower themselves. Jeanne sees herself as lifetime student of growth. She continually takes classes to enhance her knowledge base. Please remember, if you or your family or friends are interested in personal therapy and healing, you can reach out to me, Morgan, or Jeanne for private sessions. All contact details are in description below the video. If you like what I do, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channel. Okay, ladies. Hello, hello, hello. How you been?
I'm good. I'm good. I was loving the conversation that we had in the background before we got, about um, illness and what we decide we can catch and what it's like, what do we believe? And it's so funny because over here where I live, there's like a whole bunch of people that got that thing called the C word, right? The COVID thing,
Mhm,
right? They have a firm belief in it, right? And I was at a party like 10 days ago, and all of them got it, but guess who did not? Guess who did not, right? And
believe
right, it's because it's for me, it's well, I look at it, if I feel icky, then
it.
I'm detoxing. So that's my concept of it. So, oh, let me just keep detoxing, right? So I'll do, beautiful things to support my body detoxing because, as we know, we don't always eat perfectly or beautifully that supports our bodies. And so, we got to detox that, as well as what you talked about, what falls from the skies, right? What they spray on us and what they put in our food. And, there's a whole lot of things. Um, However, this morning I've been breaking apart Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, right? So just, putting my attention on there is, I am supplied with everything I need, including whatever is happening. So health, I'm supplied with health and beautiful things to support my health, right? So here they don't believe that, but I do. So all things come my way that support me in my health and my wholeness and my beauty and my goodness. Those are the things that I affirm. So yeah, it really is a matter of what you believe about yourself. If you believe you're sick, well, welcome to it. If you believe you're healthy, welcome to it.
Actually, to be honest, since I grow up, I have believed that, oh, winter is coming. This means I will definitely catch something.
Oh
And
yeah,
as a clockwork, every winter I must definitely catch something.
oh yeah. And then it used to be, I don't know because I don't watch TV anymore, but something when I did watch television that would happen around this time of year would be commercials that would announce this is the flu and cold season, right? And then there's a list of products or things that you can purchase to we're that's programming, and your family programmed you, right? Oh, it's winter,
Exactly.
Yeah. But what if it's, wow, we just ate a whole bunch of food that wasn't great for us. Maybe we need to detox, or, it's,
I actually till that time when I believe in that, yeah, I was getting every winter like a clockwork.
yep.
But when I changed my belief system, yeah, mm-mm. There have been many years when I go through all winter and I didn't catch even nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But at the moment, I actually know why I was sick.
So
Because,
even look at what you just said about catching it. Like, it's like I got a little image of Daga running after the cold. Run. Let me catch you. Let me catch you. Right?
yeah,
It really is more the opposite. It comes after you, right? It is attractive, but you have that power to say no, no, that's not mine. That's see, that it's the flu and cold season. No, that's not mine. That's not my truth. That's not my programming. It's like I think we talked about programming last week, or some version of it. Um, what we decide to believe in. Right? What humans decide to believe in. So there's the family culture, that the family tells you what you, every winter you're going to catch something. Daga's going to run down the road and catch that cold that's down the road, right? No. So we're told, I mean, it's even like looking at systems of poverty and lack, right? You can be told in your family system a thing about your abundance, or your lack, or whatever, right? We can be told those things, and then we choose to believe it or not, or we work against it, or whatever. It's really a matter of where you put your attention and how you start. Let's start our day in a truth, right? Rather than, oh, it's the flu and cold season. Let's start it with a truth of, health is all around me. Healthy foods are attracted to, it's like begin to build a world where it's not what you've been programmed to believe, but it's really the truth of who you are. Make sense?
it does make sense. Yeah, I actually know why I had to have this time, because I didn't, for some time I had difficulties to listen to my guidance when they telling me slow down, look after yourself, relax more, yeah, work less, relax
Yep.
more, yeah.
Yep.
And every single conversation with my high guidance is about that. And when I start feeling that something is not right, I knew it just I needed this relax, and they didn't have any other choice than put me really feel bad, so I can't do it even if I want to.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, instead of having nap for 20 minutes, I have napped for 3 hours. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
that's how I see all this what happened. And I'm pretty sure if I don't listen far down the line, they will do the same thing with me.
Yeah, it's kind of like that we get a message, right? Do this or don't do this, or whatever the message is, and we don't listen, right? So we get the message first. Then we might get the head cold, right? And if we don't listen to that, then we might get a little bit of a disaster in our lives. If we don't listen to that, then we might get the Mack truck version of life, right? So this is the Holy Spirit is always guiding, right? It's always present. It's always there to guide you. It's whether or not you say, okay, I'm going to okay, let's go back to what I was talking about, me breaking apart the 23rd Psalm. the very first line, the Lord is my shepherd. What does that even mean, right? The Lord is the higher consciousness is what guides me. Like if you could think about that line in that sense, the Lord is my shepherd. My higher consciousness, the Holy Spirit is what guides me. The Lord is my shepherd. My higher guidance guides me, right? So we look at these beautiful maps to consciousness that we have, right? So, but it can guide us all it wants all day long, and speak to us all day long and show us all day long. But if we don't follow it, then we'll get the head cold. Then if we don't listen to it, then we'll get the I fell down. Then we'll get, it's like it will always give us an opportunity. Like for you, your guidance said, you need to slow down. You need to stop. You need to rest. But you weren't listening to that. So, okay, how do we get Daga to rest? Oh, let's just give her a badass cold, right? Right? So it's like, however it needs to happen, it will happen. And so what I would ask you is, what do you actually get from the rest?
No, it's much better clarity and much more. Now I have much more energy and clarity and lots of other things, creativity. So yeah, it's all definitely, it definitely helped me big style. Talking about you tearing apart all these psalms, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you are familiar about Charlie Freak?
Oh yeah, I know who Charlie Freak is.
He is tearing apart every single film, every single song, and literally he has tools.
Yeah, he's been doing that for years. He takes apart movies and
Movies,
music. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, he looks at what's the consciousness behind it. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's worthy work to listen to. He's
Yes, but for me, I listen like half an hour, and that's enough for me.
yeah, it's a lot. He's
I
pretty
feel,
intense.
yes, he's brilliant, but for me, optimal listening time for some podcast is about 1 hour, like we doing, yeah. Everything over that, it's already for me overload and system. I need break. I need do something else. I need like whatever I will do. I maybe go wash dishes or have food or something. I need relax, and then I can go and watch something else again, like very serious. But for me, only this. Um, I love into pieces, but for me, those podcasts are a little bit too long.
Yeah, but it's worthy work if our listeners would like to go look up his
Yeah,
book.
definitely is.
Yeah,
And how do you spell his last name?
Freak, Freak.
Okay.
He named himself that. And if you ever dig through his videos, you'll find out why.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
So,
and I love tearing stuff apart like that too, just to like look at the deeper meanings of things. It's like tearing apart the 23rd Psalm. What the heck does that mean, and how does it relate to me, right? And what was David trying to set? Gives us, the shepherd David, right? How did the shepherd David? What was he trying to communicate, right? When you look at the shepherd David, he went from a shepherd to being a king, right? We'll talk about a switch in consciousness, right? Both leaders, by the way. A shepherd is a leader, right? It leads, it it's in charge of a flock. It's, it's got to make sure the flock gets home at night. It's got to be safe. The shepherd's a protector. I love that kind of looking at what is a shepherd, right? And then the shepherd moves into the consciousness of a ruler, of a king, turned into a king. So a complete shift from, but was it? Because a king is a leader too. It's a shepherd as well. So really, he was just being trained to be the king by being the shepherd on how to manage the flock, lead the flock, be conscious for the flock, be aware of the flock. You have to do that if you're king as well. So I'd say, what are we being trained for, right? It's like Daga not listening to, you need to slow down, right? What are we being trained for? If we look at our lives and what's been the backdrop of our consciousness and what's happened to us throughout our lives, if we look at that in a way of, what am I being trained for here? What skills am I learning here, right? Because we learn them, and when we're in tough situations, we learn stuff we didn't know we had. We might learn how to be courageous. We might learn how to be, whatever, right? But though all of those, and I'll go back to Course in Miracles, where it says we come fully intact with all of our issues when we arrive. Right? So what did we arrive to do? Because if we're in either that family structure, that social structure, that government structure, whatever we're involved in, what is it that we've come here to do? To break apart? What are we here to become? Are we that meager shepherd, right? And we're being trained to be a king or a queen. It's like, well, what does that mean? So anyway, that's just the rumblings and ramblings in Morganne's head today about taking a look at what we're being taught. What are we being taught? What are we being and again, that goes back to, what are we being programmed with? Right? What are we being taught? What are we being programmed?
What you, Jeanne, think about it? You're very quiet today.
I just think of family stuff and, the impact, and how it's like it's a lifetime work to get through it. It's a lot. So.
But work on yourself, I think, is anyway lifetime work.
Right, exactly. But I mean, that's the thing is, I do a lot of work on myself, but then to, you have no control over your family.
Right.
It's difficult because they still keep on wanting to put you in a box. And
you need to do it. You need to do it what I done.
What's that?
Move 2,500 miles from your family.
I've moved further.
She did. Yeah, she did.
I've moved further.
I can tell you, if I'll be in my country, in this deep dam with my family, I don't know I will be where I am. I think I most definitely won't. Because everyone is happy to pull you down.
I agree with Daga. I think we have to move away from the programming, the dynamics, the structure. I had to do that. I moved, again, way far from one end of the country to the other, just like Jeanne moved from one end of the country to the other, right? I think that is so healthy to break from the the box. We'll just call it the box that everybody wants Jeannie to get back into, right? Get back in your box, Jeannie.
Right.
Right. We must break out of those boxes, and it will disturb the family dynamics.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. And I have friends back there that I'd like to see, but my family doesn't let me go back without seeing them all, so they can all tag along with me wherever I go, whatever I do. And it's like I lose my autonomy if I'm around them, and they think I need to check in with them in my moves. And it's really difficult because that's not my life, and
But when you go back to your family, do you revert to that?
This past time I didn't, but I got a lot of backlash because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't following the rules of the family.
Wow, maybe you are being dropped out of gypsy courage as well, not only you. You much better.
I believe that about Jeannie.
Like, meet my sister in crime. Yeah?
Jeannie the gypsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting breaking free from the constraints and the restraints of structures, right? Family structure, government structure, school structure. I mean, everybody wants you to get in their box and behave in that box like you're supposed to, right?
Right.
Right?
I have cousin, yeah, who is my mom's sister's son, yeah, and he is literally perfect golden boy of programming. He's everything what I'm not, yeah. He finished school, straight away went to uni, finish uni, straight away get a job, then get better job, then he now is high level management, yeah. Then he get married, then he has 3 kids, then he has all brilliant life. He supports himself, his mother, my mom, thank God to him, yeah, and wife's mother, yeah. He is everything I'm not.
Yeah, there's something in the psychology field where they say that it is healthy when children rebel, because what they're doing is trying to find their own identity and why they're put here on earth. And it's like, if we follow the rules of our upbringing, without questioning them at all, we're just being a puppet to people. And it's and it's like any organization, the greatest power we have is to question. And it's if we don't question and we just follow along, we lose ourselves, because we all came here, with a mind and a purpose. And it's like, if we don't question what, because people always have questions, but they follow it anyway, because that's the rules. That's what people are telling you. That's what, like, I used to work with homeless people, and I said, there is a point being homeless where there's a point in your life where you started to go down the homeless line, just like an affair. When you have an affair, there's a point where you're friends, and then it turns into an affair. There's a little point, like a moment. And I said, same thing with homelessness. And whenever I used to ask all my homeless clients, and I would say, they would always say, what they would tell me is, they thought the other person knew better than they did about a certain situation that led them to homelessness. and I said, well, what was your insides telling you? And they said, not to do it. And I said, well, why did you do it? And they said, because I thought the person wouldn't like me if I didn't do it, or I thought the doctor was smarter or than me, or I thought like they're giving away their power to others. And the thing is, we have to check in. Just because somebody is saying we should do this, we have to check in with ourselves and say, is this right for me? It might be right for the other person, but it's not necessarily right for you. So it's like, always check in. And I think we live, like, we're in a culture where we're not taught to question things, and to question other people, like, and I think it's the greatest power you can have, to question.
Absolutely. If we don't bring in what else is I call that questioning, what else is possible.
Right.
If we don't do that, then we get locked in. There's the box. We get locked into the boxed in thinking of behaving ourselves within the box, right? But as we do that, we become spiritually dead.
Yeah. And it happens all the times in relationship, couple relationships. They compromise where they're both losing something, and instead of collaborating where they're both winning, they just shut down and they go, okay. And before you know it, both of them have lost themselves.
Yeah.
And it's so sad.
It is. When you were talking, because I still got the Lord is my shepherd on my brain here. I was thinking as you were talking, we often equate my family as my shepherd. The doctor is my shepherd. What else have we put in place of God or our higher guidance to lead us? Right? If we think about just putting those words in my family, like my siblings are my shepherd. I must follow whatever they say I must do, right? My doctor is my shepherd. I must follow everything the doctor says I must do. We can, my neighbor is my shepherd. Huh? My teachers, exactly.
It's huge.
Exactly. My teachers are my shepherd. I must follow what they tell me to do, right? Oh, we need to just when are we going to bring out who we are?
Right. Our authentic self.
Our authentic self. Who's shepherding me? Who's leading me around by the nose everywhere, right? It's like my neighbors, my teachers, my ministers.
What say? What will our rest of extended family say?
Right?
Oh my God! Imagine you're not going to uni. What our extended family will say? Yeah. You're not married in 20. What will extended families say?
Yep. Yep. And then we live within the threats. To me, those are threats. Right? If you don't do this, what will they say? Like what they say is like the rule, right? It's like and what would happen if you don't, right? Are you not in the family? What's the threat? What's the threat here?
I don't know how old I was, but I think about 12, 13 maybe, when I all the time hear about need to get married as fast as possible, otherwise you will be old maid. Nobody will need you, nobody will want you, yeah? Of course I get married at 18. Brilliant choice. Excellent. I played this game for about 8, nearly 10 years. I played this game. I tried to fit in to not to be the gypsy, but didn't really sit with me.
Right. And I think when you don't rebel as a child, like, question, your parents about things, you do it, you're bound to do it, and that's when people have secrets and they don't tell people, because they're carrying on a life that is not, that they don't share.
Yep. Split personalities.
Yeah.
I'm this over here, and I'm this over here, and I'm this over here. Wow. I mean, how exhausting must that be, to be the chameleon and be whatever situation you're in, become that, so that you're loved, accepted, and appreciated. And that's what we do. We try to get in to be loved, and so we do things that we wouldn't normally do, right? Because we haven't questioned. Our whole goal is to be part of the group,
Right.
not discover who we are.
Right. And we never ask, does this work for me?
No,
is
we're
this
told this is what works for you.
right? Right.
It
Just
must
get your box and shut up,
should-
Jeanne.
not must, it should work for you.
What's that?
It should work for you.
Yeah. I mean, we need to know that what we're doing is in our highest and best selves, because for us, if we're doing it for everybody else, we're losing who we are, our authenticity, and we're not living the life we could live. We're dumbing ourselves down, and it's like, we have so much potential as human beings, and how we're losing our potential when we follow somebody else's way of being.
And think about too, when we are following something that's not innately ours, the stress that puts on us.
Right.
So then we're not living in flow. We're not living in gentleness. We're living constantly in angst and performance.
Right. And we're not living in joy.
No. Joy is a byproduct of being in your authenticity.
Right.
When you hit upon that place who you are, it's like this immediate, like, oh yeah, right. There's this bloom that happens within you called joy when we're in the presence of our own authenticity. Otherwise, we're just playing the game, like Daga was talking about with getting married, following the rules, doing what the family said she had to do, so others don't have to think poorly of her, or
Right.
Does that make us a rebel? Well, yeah, according to their rules, it does. For us, it's just us trying to discover who we are.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when people are judging you about your decisions and what you choose, they don't get curious about it to learn. They judge you. And it's like, I think it's so, like, I love when people get curious and start questioning. And it's like, because it makes, when somebody questions me, it helps me get clearer about what I'm doing, and it's like, I love when people question me, but it doesn't help me at all to be yelled at or judged or anything, it's for me, I see it as violence, to not get curious and just start judging and attacking. And it's people don't realize the violence they cause, that they think that they're, they would be the first ones to point out, violence that somebody else did, whether it's, somebody shooting somebody, but for me, it's kind of all the same thing, and I don't mean that for anybody who's been killed and the families, but there is a point where we're hurting people with unconsciously.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
and that's Jeannie, that's the same thing as shooting them with a gun. When you're shooting people with you're not this and you can't have that and blah 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 and constantly you are in effect attempting to kill a human, a spirit, a soul that came
right.
here. Right.
Because,
So words
because you want to change that person of who they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's killing
that
that.
feeling it's not worthy. I'm not worthy of anything. If if my family doesn't love me like I am, yeah, then what?
Exactly. What's the threat? What happens, right? If I do this, okay, you don't love me. Okay, all right, then you don't love yourself, right?
Right,
They can't possibly love you if they don't love themselves.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And yet,
and,
you know,
and the truth is, go ahead, Jeannie.
I was going to say, you know, my job is to help people grow and become more authentic and of who they are, and really live in their joy. And it's so interesting because I cannot help my family. Anything I say or do, they get defensive about it. You know, even though I'm just trying to help them, it's just like I can't. And it's so sad because I'm watching that and I'm like, it's hard, you know, it's hard to watch.
Yep.
You know, and to be the punching bag of their way of being.
Yep. I mean, we can enter their world, right? I know a couple of weeks ago I was having a conversation with a brother, and this is a brother that has constantly followed the patterns in our family and constantly getting himself in trouble. It's been, and he's going to be 60 years old, and he's still following that pattern. And in a conversation I was having with him, he was my daughter should, and he was like just hammering on this, and I go, oh, is that true? She should, right? And you know, it's like I'm starting to, and then the rage, it just broke open his rage, right? Like you're not following the pattern. So what's the pattern in my family was, if you're not following the pattern or you go outside, like I said, oh, is that true? Right? What follows is rage in my family.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what he did. He started raging at me. So in my family, what you would do is you would accept the rage, right? And then adjust your behavior.
Right.
I don't do that. What did I do? I hung up the phone. I broke the pattern. I broke the pattern by hanging up the phone and not participating in the pattern.
Right.
And that's what we have to do. And is it about, do I get back in the pattern and try to make it nice with him so everything is right and good? No, I break the pattern. You don't rage at me. That's not how we communicate. We can have a conversation, love to have conversations, but not through rage, or not like, right, exactly. And it's, you know what that feels like to be raged at.
Yeah. I just said, you know, okay.
It's scary.
Yeah. I said, you're upset about this. So I'm going to go. And the other person hung up.
Yep. Because you had the courage to break the pattern. Oh, I see you're upset. What, conversation's over, right? Because
Yeah.
really the conversation is over.
Yeah, once somebody starts raging at you, it's over. And
Yeah.
there's nothing you can say or do. They're in fight, flight, or freeze, and they're just going to keep on coming
Mhm.
to to make sure you understand where they're coming from.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. And
So
all we in for us, it's the courage to say no, right? And that I know. I think last time we were talking about, is this mine, right? That awareness of when something's coming at you, or what is this mine? Is
right,
this my thought? Is this my action? Is this? And see, when we do that, then we begin to that employs that what else is possible, and that curiosity.
right. And for me,
If this
it's
is
not.
mine, what?
For me, I'm not saying I'm right all the time. When this happens, but it's about just getting curious and asking questions. Because if I say something, they rage, and it's like, you don't have to rage. Just get curious and ask me questions. I take pretty good feedback, but what I can't take is raging.
Well, there's nothing in raging. There's just
Right,
that's trying to pound you back in your box.
right,
Shut up, Jeannie.
right, right.
Back in your box and behave yourself.
Yeah, and I really enjoy feedback, all the time. I'll take it, and because I learn from it. But it's such a different way of living. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we can start. We can start meditation maybe
We
some
could.
night.
We could. I think what we're going to do is, I think because that Psalms is on my mind and in my heart today, I think we'll just probably explore that a little bit in meditation. Um, I think before we do meditation, I'm just going to read. I'm going to read that passage so everybody has it in their awareness. Most people have heard it. I think that even if you're not, I grew up in a Bible church, right? If you didn't even do that, most people have heard this particular Psalms. It's so powerful. So it's the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies, and thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So let's just take those words that were written so long ago, thousands of years ago. The Lord is my shepherd. And let's just close our eyes and bring that awareness within ourselves. So take a breath with me with the intention of coming within your own self, your own heart, your own mind, your own being, not your family, not your education, not your community, not your political party, You. Just you. Take a breath in. Unhook yourselves from all of those structures just for a short period of time. And bring your awareness within your own being. And I invite you to move your awareness to your heart. Take a breath in. And in your own heart, be with the very first sentence of that psalm. The Lord is my shepherd. God is my shepherd. The Holy Spirit is my shepherd. Take a breath in. And ask yourself, is that really true for you? Is God, the Lord, the Holy Spirit, is that your shepherd? Take a breath in. And if not, allow yourself to just become curious about what that would be like to have the Holy Spirit as your shepherd, leading you, guiding you, moving you, bringing insights, bringing awareness. Take a breath in. Bring your attention to the Holy Spirit, to God, to the Lord, to Jesus, however that is for you, that is greater. The Lord is my shepherd. And in the settling into that guidance, the power and the presence, the mind of God, the life of God, the goodness, the joy, to be led, to be guided. When we allow ourselves to be guided by our higher guidance, God, Lord, Holy Spirit, then I shall not want. Take a breath in. As I lean into this higher power, as I lean into this guidance, as I surrender to the power and the presence of the divine, I shall not want. Take a breath in. Just relax into I shall not want, because I'm being guided, I'm being led every step of the way in all of my needs, in all that I need to be present here. I am guided, I am led. For the power and the presence of the divine is right there within you. And so I'm just going to offer you this space and time with just those two first sentences. The Holy Spirit is my shepherd. The Holy Spirit is my guide. I shall not want. So I invite you to just spend a moment here in silence with that awareness, allowing yourself to just sink deeper into that awareness. And as we just sink deeper into that awareness of that guidance, that higher state, that Holy Spirit, the Lord, the God, whatever it is that you can sink deeper with, in recognizing that there is no want when there is that guidance. For if there is turmoil, it leads you to still water, to peace. If there is hunger, it always leads you to the feast. And it always leads you to your cup running over. So there can be no lack in your life. For the Holy Spirit always leads to your cup running over with goodness and mercy and plenty. Take a breath in. Bring the Holy Spirit even closer to you, deeper in you, as your heart, as your mind, as your busyness, as all that you are. Meet yourself. And so as today, as we've been just contemplating this beautiful psalm, these beautiful words of realization that we are not hooked into the world. And if we find ourselves hooked into our families or our world or a structure, then we have the way out to not be hooked, to not be in the box, but to be in the full glory of our own hearts, our own lives, where our beautiful skills and talents that were given to us by the divine can emerge and can bless our world. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I invite you to take this into your days, into every aspect of your life. The Holy Spirit is my guidance. I am led perfectly. And so in love and light, dear ones, we leave you this day to discover yourself, to be curious about who you are, to allow the gifts of spirit to be revealed to you. You are loved. You are sacred. I am here. And so it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jeanne, is there something you want to say?
Just thank you, ladies. Thank you for all this listening. And I hope that you've gotten as much out of it as I have.
Mm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone who been with us. Thank you who will be watching. Please, if you like what we do, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channels so we can reach more people. Remember to be all taking in clients so you can reach us each individually, and contact details is below video. And see you next week. God bless.